What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spread the Positive podcast. I am your host, Trent Denson, founder of Spread the Positive and STP Productions, where our mission is to bring light to what's going right and to showcase and facilitate efforts that are making a positive impact in our local communities and beyond. Be sure to check us out, spreadthepositive.net. And also, if you're looking to get involved with the STP Podcast Network, please reach out and just check out all the amazing shows that are on the network. We continue to grow. We continue to build. Be part of the solution. Be part of what's going right. Welcome to the show.
Hey, my name is Brian Nell. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Mortgage. I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission and helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's truly be a pleasure to be a part of what they do. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
Primis Mortgage is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC, equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Primis Mortgage, NMLS number 1894879.
This episode of the Spread the Positive podcast is brought to you by the 1200 Club supporters. Huge shout out to our good friends, Mary Fugit with Gateway Title. For all of your real estate closing needs, be sure to hit up Mary over at Gateway Title. The team at Gateway is second to none, and we highly recommend them for all of your real estate transactions, refinancing needs, and anything of the sort. Please check them out. Huge thank you to Mary. As always, we love you. Casey Broach with KK Fitness Training. Casey is a personal trainer on the Faster Way app. She has actually gone through the Faster Way herself. This app has a crazy proven track record of helping people get to their fitness goals quicker with a healthier approach, and it's changing people's lives around the country and around the world. Casey is killing it in this area. She is passionate about helping people. She's done it herself, she believes in it, and she can walk you through this entire process. So be sure to check out at KK Fitness Training on Instagram, and you can reach out to her via email, kkfitnesstraining@gmail.com. Big shout out to you, Casey. Keep killing it. We appreciate your continued support of the 1200 Club here at Spread the Positive. Thank you so much. This episode is also brought to you by Philip Byard with Music City Hardscapes and Music City Pond Pros. Philip is a great example of all things STP, hardworking, impeccable reputation, and even better work in serving his customers. If you need any help in the hardscaping or pond maintenance world, please give my guy a shout. Be sure to check out Music City Pond Pros and MusicCityHardscapes.com for more information. Huge shout out to you, Philip. Thank you for your continued support. Last but not least, this episode is brought to you by Pete Adams and Travis Swan over at Adams & Swan. Adams & Swan is your local advertising and digital marketing company that uses a results-driven approach to small and medium business revenue growth. They develop a custom strategy that is specific to your business and create dynamic advertising and digital marketing campaigns that deliver new clients and customers. Check them out at adamsandswan.com. Big shout out to my guys, Pete and Travis. Thank you for the support, guys. Means so much. Can't wait to have you in. Y'all be sure to check them out, adamsandswan.com. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spread the Positive podcast. Got a really awesome show for y'all today. Special guest with us today, part of the Tech Council and some of the stuff I've been working on with the Murfreesboro Tech Council. But super excited to talk to Shauna Sprague.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Shauna is the guest speaker or the featured speaker at an Automate Everything event we're doing with the Tech Council coming up here in a couple weeks. I should know that date. Wow. One job over here. Do you know what day is it?
The 30th.
The 30th. Yeah. Last Tuesday of the month. I should know that. It's the last Tuesday of the month every time. Be sure to check out the Tech Council, by the way. We're doing some really amazing work, and this event's going to be awesome. It's all about AI and automating your life and just some really cool stuff. But before we get into all that, Shauna, can you give us just a little background, who you are, kind of a little bit of your journey and what led you here?
Sure. I'm Shauna Sprague, and I'm a wife, mother, and by day I work at Amazon.
There you go.
That alone is a big job.
Yep.
But then I have my own little side business where I do AI automation for individuals, companies. That's
wow.
FemLogic AI.
Okay.
And so that is just something that kind of evolved from. I like to automate things, and so my journey in my career has been, I was a small town girl from Kentucky.
Okay.
Had zero exposure to technology.
Okay.
I had amazing professors in college that kind of encouraged me and noticed that I was talented and I had some skills there, and they were like, I think you can make a career out of this.
Absolutely.
And so that's how I got into tech. So through the kindness of strangers. And so
isn't that awesome? That's very spread the positive.
It is. And so my mission has been that's my YouTube channel and all that is, it's not high quality video, but I want to show everybody step by step from here's how you set up an account, here's how you do all this, just so that people aren't as afraid of technology.
Sure. You can talk to my mom. She's terrified of everything. I'm like, just push the buttons. It's okay.
You can't break it. That's what I tell them.
Yes,
My mom's the same way.
Thank you. Please.
Don't put your credit card in.
Yeah, don't put your credit card in, but just push some buttons. Mess it up a couple times. It's part of the process.
Worst case, you call me and I'll fix it.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm with that. So where'd you go to school?
So I went undergraduate at Western Kentucky University, and I have a MBA from MTSU.
Okay. Man, the rivalry there.
I know.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no,
really
I was old school MBA, as I call it. I actually had to drive from Nashville every day.
Oh boy. Okay. At least you were going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as oof. That drive nowadays is no joke.
Yes. I warn people when they're looking at houses out here. I'm like, just so you know.
The drive's kind of
the drive's a challenge.
Just don't try to get there by 9 o'clock or 10. If you're there by 10, 11, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you. That's really cool. So, what were some of your early career moves? And you said you've always been in processing and automation.
Automation
okay,
and all that good stuff. And I've always been in tech. And so, I started out as a programmer.
Okay.
Doing .NET programming. And I very quickly realized that I was way too social for a
Okay.
job.
Yeah. that's sitting at a computer.
That's sitting at a computer doing
All
code.
day.
And that worked for some people. It did not work for me.
That's fair.
So I very quickly decided that was not the career for me.
Same.
And so now, while it's a great skill to have, what I really like is the puzzles.
Yes.
And so that's what I like is getting in, talking to people. What's your problem? How can I fix it?
I love that.
And so I like to say I'm lazy, but I'm really more like I'm really good at figuring things out and finding ways to automate things.
That's amazing.
So even before we had really cool tools, we had Excel.
Yeah.
And I can almost get Excel to make coffee. Almost. So
That's amazing.
So if you're like me and you were like just an Excel addict, I was like everything I can possibly get it to do. I was all about macros.
Yeah.
Then Google came online and I learned about Outlook rules and how to automate things that way. And then Power BI and Tableau and really cool platforms came online. And so it's I spent a lot of time in my career in Fortune 500s.
Okay.
So I've worked for United Healthcare, I've worked for Dollar General, and now Amazon.
Wow.
And so I can tell you they have a lot of data. A lot.
Yeah, but I can only imagine.
So,
Actually, I can't imagine.
And you find this a lot when I talk to companies. I say, are you spreadsheet rich and information poor?
Yeah.
So you have a lot of spreadsheets, but you have no idea what kind of data you have, trying to pull that in. And so I spent the early part of my career building reports and dashboards and things like that to try to give people a way to see their data that they could actually take action on.
There you go.
I can, working in retail for all those years, I can give you all kinds of fun facts, about this and that if you put these two products together. But does it really matter? At the end of the day, you want to move that bottom line.
That's it.
And that's what everybody is concerned with. And
so what were some of those? Or talk to me about that. Like, you just came in and you're like, if you do X, Y, and Z, your revenue will do that.
Some of the things that, you've heard if you put diapers and beer in aisles next to each other because they're the most two commonly purchased items.
There you go.
Toilet paper is the most commonly purchased item usually online because everybody uses it. It's like an add-on item. You're like, I'm buying stuff.
I'm going to need that.
Add it in there.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty
I do it too.
Yeah.
When I buy stuff, I get a shopping cart. I'm like, what else do I need?
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Always
toilet paper, paper towels. I always go through that list of things. Toilet paper, paper towels, dish soap, laundry soap. Do I need any of those things? All right, we're good.
That's hilarious.
And we all do it.
Absolutely.
And so, that automation piece and all that stuff with that Fortune 500, very fast pace, we just had, like every company, they want to do more with less.
Yeah.
And so we had to figure out, Dollar General is a very frugal company.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, Amazon is also a very frugal company.
Yeah.
And so we try to do as much as we can and try not to, when we bring on a new headcount, we want to make sure we're having them do the highest value thing that we can possibly get them to do.
That's amazing.
So
you just
talent
always
is
been
expensive.
Yeah, you're right.
So have them do that. You don't want them doing busy work if you can get that automated.
Right.
So then I kind of took it another step further.
Okay.
And I started it like, what can I do in my personal life?
Sure.
Because that's what really weighs me down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like trying to coordinate dance with school schedules and my schedule, and then, like the football schedule and all of the things.
Yeah.
And so then I started automating those things.
How?
And so
how?
Well, there's two tools. There's tools that I use called RPAs, which are robotic processing automation tools.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to talk to and show everybody how to use at the Tech Council.
That's exciting. Okay. Cool.
And so using those tools, which are Zapier and Make.com.
Okay.
And so you can use either one.
I've heard of Zapier.
Zapier is a whole lot easier to use, in my opinion. Make has a lot more flexibility if you want to actually have a assistant that's going to answer phone calls or actually make phone calls for you if you're a salesperson.
Wow.
So it depends on what you want to do with it. I have both because I like to be platform agnostic.
Yeah.
I like to be flexible depending on what people's budget is, what they're trying to do, and all that good stuff. So personally, what I do is when they give you that, every school does it, they give you this sheet of paper, you go in and it has, here's all the calendar dates, don't forget any of these dates.
No.
I used to spend like an hour or more typing every single one of those into my calendar, making sure I didn't forget. And then we have uniforms, so that makes it even more fun. They're like, this is a uniform day, this is a formal uniform day, this is a casual day.
Okay.
And then they're like, and this is sports shirt day and what,
All the things.
All the things.
Okay.
So again, more time entering all that stuff.
Right.
So then what I figured out when ChatGPT came online is I
Yes.
was like, you know what? I can take a picture of that and send it to ChatGPT, that PDF, or if I have a PDF, that's
Sure.
great, and tell ChatGPT to put it into some kind of format, a table format.
Right.
I can copy that, put that into a Google Sheet, and then I can connect Zapier to that Google Sheet and say, for every item on this list, I want you to make a calendar invite and send it to me. And then all I have to do is accept it.
Jeez, that's incredible.
And so that's what I
need
do.
that in my life.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I've gotten better with scheduling, and there's a bunch of scheduling tools, obviously, but man, that is like the number one struggle. And it's always like, I'm forgetting something, but man, that's so cool. That's amazing. So you're doing that like in addition to your Amazon
Yes,
stuff?
like pretty much weekends. That's my weekends.
Okay.
Are building these things out. And
For other people, like you do
for
that
other,
as a service?
other people as a
Okay.
service. I also work with the Nashville Technology Council
Right,
as well as the
right.
Murfreesboro Technology Council.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, and people
That's
ask, how do
amazing.
you do it all? And I'm like, a lot of it's automated.
Yeah.
Like all my social media posts are automated.
Yeah.
That's going through ChatGPT. All I do is I find articles I like, I load them into a Google Sheet, and that Google Sheet connects to all my Zapier and Make accounts and automatically writes. And I just have to review them, say they're accepted, and there they go.
That's amazing.
So being able to do more with less, I've kind of applied it to every part of my job.
Yeah.
And so, it's a great for scheduling and, going out. Like to me, I'm like, I wonder in my back of my mind, I'm like, I wonder how big I could make my company of just one.
Yeah.
Like how much could I possibly
Man,
do?
we need to talk.
So now it's a challenge.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
I need some film logic, big time.
And so that's why FemLogic came about, and that's how I named the company. This is how women would use it.
Yes.
Because I feel
we're
like
dumb. Let's be real. We're dumb about a lot of things.
I know a lot of brilliant men and women, and I've met a lot of them. But I think men and women just think differently about how they're going to handle things. And in my life, or at least in our family, I'm the kind of the owner of the child schedule. Getting all that organized and making sure that everybody's at all the the choir concert and the dance concert and all the things.
That is a full-time job.
Trying to mesh all that together and not miss anything.
Yeah.
People make fun of me because I even take it a step further with my friends and their birthdays.
Yeah.
I have a sheet. And so they get a very fun email from me from compliments of ChatGPT and myself.
Oh, that's
where
hilarious.
I have their birthday and I have like little notes about them.
That's so cool.
And some people think that's impersonal, but to me, I took time to put you into a sheet because you were that important to me.
Absolutely.
'Cause
That's
I can't
personal.
tell you how many times I've laid in bed and been like, I gotta remember to send this person, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day. I was like, oh, I never sent them a birthday message.
Oh man.
I'm a terrible friend.
No. So, we've all been there 100 times, but yeah, a million times probably. That's so cool though. So that's what the whole event's about.
The whole event.
Yeah. So again, July 30th, last Tuesday of the month, at the Fountains, first floor room. I always forget the Plaza room.
Yes.
See, there we go. It's all coming back to me. But yeah, so y'all definitely need to be there. It's going to be awesome. Everybody on the council is super excited about it. We've been talking about it for months, and it's really cool. It's really coming down to the final wire here. So I guess just can you speak a little bit more about what people can expect and why they should come?
Yeah, come down. We're going to go step by step. I'm going to go through, basically, I think most people understand what generative AI is at this point. We've played with ChatGPT, but I think a lot of people use it as like, write me an email which that's good. I use that too, but there's a whole nother level that you can dig in there. And so I'm going to show you how you can take ChatGPT or any tool of your choice, Claude, whatever you want, if you like Lambda, any of that stuff. You can connect it to one of these RPA tools and then automate things on your own.
That was the Zapier.
That's Zapier and Make.
Okay.
And so even things in your day-to-day work life, and I tried to bring the examples so that something everybody can use, like think about onboarding a new employee, all the things that have to happen. So you can create a chat bot with all your FAQs so that like when I started, I didn't want to ask my boss, like right after I started, I bought a new house. I didn't want to ask my, okay, where's my W-2? I don't want to bother him for that, but I still needed it. So eventually I had to be like, hey, can you show me where that is? Stuff like that. So being able to have all those FAQs that people ask over and over again. If you're a teacher, I would love to sit down with you and show you how I can, I always feel guilty when I have to send the teacher a message, hey, I'm picking up early today.
Sure.
But how useful would it be to have all those messages collated and just sent you a text once a day at like 2:30 saying, these are the kids that are getting picked up early, these are this. And so you no longer have to respond to all those emails.
There's so much demand. There's so many people that could use this.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the cusp of something super
Anything,
special.
Yeah, anything that you do, and I always ask people, the first thing I ask is, what annoys you? What is it, like, what's the task that you like the least? And it may be doing laundry, and I can't help you with that.
Yeah, right.
But maybe I can, free up more of your time so that laundry's not as stressful, thing that you have to, try to get done really fast.
That's so cool.
So, things like that. So
That's
maybe
so cool.
AI will eventually be able to do laundry.
Man,
but
that'll be something.
The robotic process automation, though, being able to feel like, for me, it's a failure thing. I don't like to feel like I'm failing or letting people down.
Sure.
And so being able to stay on top of things makes me feel really great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So some of the things I'm going to show you in the event are going to be how to get it to read your calendar. And so like when my daughter has a doctor's appointment, so if you have kids with braces and they're on an appointment, there's a lot of them.
Yep.
So and 24 hours and 30 minutes before it go ahead and it sends an email to the teacher and the staff letting them know I'm going to pick her up early, and I don't actually have to send that email anymore.
That's so cool.
So it tells, so they don't need a personalized email for me. They just need to know that information.
Right.
So stuff like that,
Yeah.
being able to automate those little tasks. I'm on several boards and trying to keep up. I'm actually the president of the NTC Ambassador Board.
That. Yep.
And so trying to make sure I keep up and remind everybody about events. I have a Slack message that automatically goes out and reads my calendar. There's an NTC event, and it sends it out to our whole channel and says, hey, don't forget, tomorrow's an event. Here's where you register. Here's the link. And so I don't have to send out all that stuff. So to me, it's about getting rid of those tiny little tasks. And so I try to get rid of all those. Now, you can definitely do bigger tasks as well.
Right.
Like I was talking about onboarding.
Yeah.
I like to set up a 30, 60, and 90-day call with everybody that I'm onboarding so that I make sure that we're level setting. They feel comfortable, I feel comfortable, and any, issues we have, we can work out really early on. But I don't have to set up those calls. I've got those automated.
Right.
So I just add in a new employee. It automatically sends them, here's the training that you should do. Here is the, automations, like here are the things that, you might want to know. Here's the chatbot FAQ. Here's all the tools you'll use.
So cool.
Then it sets up those 30, 60, 90 days, all that kind of stuff.
Just super streamlined.
Super streamlined.
Everything is streamlined.
Everything
That
is
is
streamlined.
beautiful. Man.
And there's other tools out there that will do this, like Power BI's got their new platform out, which I haven't looked at too much, but I know that they've got some stuff going on, and you can do it in Asana and some other things. So, any tool that you're using most likely integrates with Zapier and Make.
Right.
And so all that tool is doing is taking all the tools that you already use and combining them into a workflow.
Damn.
So it's triggering. It's saying, here's the trigger. Every time this happens, I want you to do this. So if you're old school like me, remember if this, then that.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
If this, then that. That's exactly what we're doing.
Wow.
So we're doing the same thing we've always done. We're just applying it differently.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
That's
the
so
goal
cool.
of this session is to get people's brains going. Like, what could you do with it?
Right.
YouTube's a great tool. I subscribe to a ton of people that have, great ideas. Sometimes I'll just make up examples just to see if I can do it.
Sure.
So,
that's really cool.
yeah.
That's so cool. My brain's just a little blown.
Did it make your brain explode?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but in a good way. That's so cool. And that segues well. I mean, our tagline is bringing light to what's going right. So that's an amazing example. There's so much fear around AI. There's so much fear about all this stuff. And again, there's good and bad actors and everything, obviously. But when you're using this to simplify your life, free up more time for the stuff that really matters, like that's such an amazing example of what's going right. That's something to celebrate. That's something to be excited about. That's something to lean into and get familiar with, right? Like that fires me up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we need. And we've all this like apocalyptic things that people are expecting. I'm like, man, I think it's just gonna be like, could just like really make things very peaceful and cohesive and organized. Like there's just so much in that is a good thing, right?
I think that it's the new calculator to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you took away my calculator and told me to do longhand math, I probably wouldn't trust myself.
Right.
Like I would do it 3 or 4 times to make sure it was right, because we've gotten used to that new tool.
Absolutely.
And it is your new calculator.
It is.
We need to learn how to adapt to it and not fight it, because it's not going away.
Right.
I get companies' resistance, and I totally get the fear of losing your job, because, I automate things basically for a living.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But, like for what I've seen, it's more of like getting people to do higher value tasks and not have them do data entry.
Exactly.
Nobody likes data entry.
No. That's
So being able to do that, and it's an incredible opportunity too for anybody who is looking to career transition.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about it. AI has only been out, or generative AI in the mainstream the way we know it, ChatGPT. It's only a couple years out.
Exactly.
It's not even 2 years yet.
No.
And so
I got prompt engineer
still
on my
early.
resume on my LinkedIn, and it's kind of a joke, but not really, because I use it a lot for a lot of different things in the podcasting world, and like it's helped so much. Like make a title, make a description,
YouTube shorts. I've got it making all my YouTube shorts for me.
All the captions, everything, and you gotta look over it, obviously, and people.
I wouldn't blindly trust anything. I always tell people, always question, never blindly trust.
Yes, exactly. That's very valuable advice. And even if people can tell, there's a part of me that I don't fully care. Is that bad?
Well, and I just feel like, I don't know, does it make it less valuable to you? Like tools and tips?
It's usually better than what I could have done.
Yeah.
And that would have taken me 45 minutes. Now it takes me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
And now you can produce more with less.
Exactly.
And like I like to say, free up time to do things that bring you joy.
Exactly.
A very smart mentor of mine told me once to make sure you disappoint the right people in your life.
There you go.
And that's kind of stuck with me. And so as I've built things out, I think about that. Like, make sure that don't disappoint your kids are only gonna be little for a little while.
That's right.
Free up that time where you can, be a good employee. And to me, it makes me a better one.
Yeah.
Because I struggle with reading and writing. I've always have. Yeah. And so to me, sometimes my brain's like a big mesh of ideas. Yeah. So to be able to type all those ideas out and have something organize it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Right. Exactly.
I just couldn't formulate it.
Exactly. No, I feel that to my core. Like that's something I've struggled with myself forever, to your point. And then you you do have a million ideas and you're trying to implement the ones that matter and the ones that will, drive the needle or whatever as quickly as possible, and you get stuck. Like I've gotten so stuck on stuff over the years, and looking back, I'm like, man, I could have just done X, Y, and Z, and it would have been done. Honestly, like a business plan, right? Like it's insane, the stuff like a grant proposal or just a proposal period, like, and just having that, you know, as a draft to, you know, customize and make it your own. It just literally, like, that would have taken, I mean, that takes years sometimes, you know?
Even reviewing, you know, like papers and the person who reviews that business case,
Right.
you know, I imagine they have certain questions, like, you know, like they have a list of things they're making, checking the boxes. All these things are included. You know, you can build an agent to automatically review that and go through and just say, oh, these things aren't even here.
Right.
And so that way you get that feedback before you even submit it up, because there's nothing worse than missing one little thing and sending it to somebody and you're like, oh, I knew that.
I know.
I can't believe I missed that.
Right. It's so true. It's such a game changer, and it's so, the power is wild in a good way and bad way potentially. But
I mean, I always think there's bad, you know, you can look, I'm a glass half full.
100%.
You know?
That's what
and
we
I
do
just
here.
kind of,
That's what we do
I'm
here.
like, you know, I think that AI is not going to take your job, but someone using AI might.
Ooh, that's a bar.
So that's where
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
AI is not going to necessarily take your job, but someone using AI might. So like, really think about that. Like, I think people see robots and things and they think they're going to take every job, and I don't see that happening.
No.
You know, like, especially with songwriting and things like that, like, there's still real value in having somebody like write, you know, like, if it were possible to duplicate Taylor Swift, I'm pretty sure the media companies would have already done it 100 times.
Yes, exactly. That's a great point.
You know, like, there's definitely an aspect there.
Yeah, the human element won't be replaced. Yeah, I agree.
You know, so it'll be interesting to see how it evolves and changes. And, you know, my biggest concern with all of it is just making sure that we get diversity.
Yes.
We get a seat at the table for everyone.
Yes.
We make sure that there's as little bias as possible in our models.
Man, that's good. That's so good. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Seriously, that's, I mean, you're changing the changing the shape of humanity, for lack of.
It's a passion project at
this
point.
I mean, it's clear. Like, just the way you talk about this, you can feel it. Like, you're and your intentions are in the right place too. Obviously, like, you're really trying to help people, which is, again, something to celebrate. So thank you. Yeah. And definitely looking forward to the event. I do have a couple of, like, closing questions I always ask. So we've kind of already talked about this a little, but I always just like to really frame it this way. Well, in your eyes, what is going right in the world? AI-wise, human-wise, technology-wise, anything that comes to mind, what would you say that is going right in the world?
Oh, I would say, like, you know, I think that, you know, having a girl, I have an 11-year-old daughter, and so having a daughter in this climate, I think that things that are going right is, I think that for the first time, because growing up, I think I was kind of raised as everybody's your competition, you know, and I think that, you know, but I feel like that there's a lot of girl power and stick together, and, like, we are like, when one wins, we all win.
Yes,
it's not a competition, you know, and I feel like that's really strong, and I'm really proud that I feel like my generation may have contributed to that.
Absolutely.
And I really am proud of that. So I think that's going really well.
I love that.
You know,
I love that. That's a really awesome answer. Girl power.
Girl
Absolutely.
power.
Weird. Yes.
We need more girls in STEM. So if any of you guys are listening and you'd like to talk to me, I'd be glad to talk to you about how you can get more involved. Because this
plug
is
away. How can people get in touch with you? That's a great segue.
You know, you can email me at femlogic AI.com, or sorry, femlogicai.com is my website.
Okay.
So you can go out there to the website and you can contact me on that form.
Okay.
Or you can just email me at shaunasprague@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or femlogic@gmail.com.
Got you. We'll have all that in the show notes for sure. Be sure to come to the event, especially if you're in Murfreesboro. If you're anywhere near Murfreesboro, it is going to be worth it. It's going to be awesome. July 30th, 3 to 5?
I think so, yeah.
3 to 5, 3 to 5, and then there's a social afterwards. So be sure to come out to the fountains at Gateway. It's going to be an awesome venue, awesome place for just to take in some of this information. So very grateful for this, Shauna. Thank you for taking the time to come out and for doing this all the work you're doing and taking the time to do this event for the Tech Council and everybody involved. It's going to be very, very valuable for a lot of people. So
awesome. I look forward to it. I love spreading the AI news. So.
I love it. You're doing it, and it's necessary. So thank you all. Be sure to check her out, femlogicai.com.
Yes.
And Shauna Sprague, thank you so much for being on.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Spread the Positive podcast. For more information about all the things we got going here at Spread the Positive, please check us out, spreadthepositive.net. Get involved with our underwriting, advertising, sponsorship program, start a podcast, or if you just want to support the mission, reach out on spreadthepositive.net or any of our social media handles at Spread the Positive. Look forward to connecting with y'all and giving y'all another fire episode on the next one. Thank you, and we will see you then. Let's go.